The Voyager offers new levels of comfort. But on February the 9th this year, the long journey east was disrupted by a sudden trip downwards. Reports vary, but we know the aircraft dropped thousands of feet in a few seconds. This is a huge blow for the Voyager programme, one of the largest PFI deals in history. It's due to cost the MOD somewhere between 10 and 14 billion pounds over the next 21 years for between 9 and 14 planes to replace the RAF's VC-10s and Tristars. Not all of the planes are affected by this grounding. Only the 6 Voyagers modified with refuelling pods and defensive aid suites. The aircraft involved diverted to Incirlik in Turkey and has been there ever since, while investigators try to work out what happened and how to prevent a repeat. Safety aside, though, the real concern is that Voyager was supposed to be reliable. And with the retirement of the Tristar at the end of next month, it will become Britain's only air refuelling tanker.
Well, Will Inglis joins us in the studio. Will, do they have any idea what went wrong on this flight?
Well, it's a complicated business looking at this, but there are similarities to another incident or series of incidents affecting civilian A330s some years ago. They were essentially put down to a software fault. There was one flight, a Qantas flight from Singapore to Perth. This was in October 2008, and it was flying at level cruising altitude along the west coast of Australia when suddenly the aircraft decided to pitch down 30 degrees nose down. That's rather a sharp manoeuvre for an aircraft of that size. People in the back were thrown about, again thrown onto the ceiling. Similar reports as we've had with this Voyager incident. As I say, in the wash afterwards, it appears to have been a software fault. There was a piece of kit that was misreading that told the flight computer the aircraft was 30 degrees nose up, going to stall. So the computer quite sensibly tried to correct it, although it actually sent it 30 degrees down.
So they will be looking at this to see whether there might be any connection. In the meantime, what's happening to the air bridge?
Well, this is the thing. I mean, clearly it's a stretch. The Tristar is at the very end of its service life. It's only got 5 weeks per programme anyway left in RAF service, and so obviously there are very few aircraft still around and there's a lot of slack there for them to pick up. So the air bridge, we understand, is stretched with delays and cancellations quite commonplace. The C-17s are helping. Now, the Falklands run isn't actually affected by this. This grounding only applies to military-registered Voyager A330s. There will be several, but there is actually one at the moment which is civilian-registered. It's really just the normal one, painted grey. And so that's not affected by this decision. The theory, I suppose, being that the avionics haven't been messed around with mission systems added in. So that is continuing the run as usual to Ascension and the Falklands, while the Military Aviation Authority trying to figure out what to do with these planes. As I said in my report, this plane that it happened to is still in Turkey.
OK, well, thank you very much indeed.